Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm just looking at myself. Y'all see the dye did not work. It's still reddish. I don't know. I put the rinse on. It lasted for a week, maybe, and it turned out brown. So it is what it is. Oh, let me act right. I'm supposed to say welcome back. Today is Saturday, June 17th. It is about 7:30 in the morning. I've been up since 5. Yeah. 4 something, 5. I know it was 5:10 when I got off the bed. And I remembered to turn the fan off so y'all can hear me a little better, hopefully. But I'm getting ready for the day. We are going to the Botanical Gardens. That's why I'm up so early, to try to beat the Texas heat, because neither one of us do well in heat. So that's first. I wanted to do a full face of makeup, but the humidity is supposed to be at 89%, so that does not seem wise. I just got an alert. An alert for a delivery app. But I just wanted to say hello and try to remember to start it off right. I might do a different intro because I feel like I'm dry. Like, personality wise right now, dry. But what am I doing? What am I doing? Oh. So I'm not gonna put on full makeup, even though my whole reason for going is that I want to get some cute pictures. I don't think I'm in the frame of mind to be trying to ready myself and talk, so I'll be back. Not an eagle, a big bird. Anyway, we are at the Fort Worth Botanical Gardens. Are you gonna say hello?
I'm trying to, I'm on the Vietnam Memorial here, and she trying to hurry me along to the Japanese garden.
So I've done the intro a few times. I don't know which one I'm gonna use, but it's beautiful out here. We tried to get here at 8 o'clock in order to avoid the heat, but we made it at 9 o'clock. I've been up since 5 o'clock, but life be lifing. So it's nice. I don't know how long I'm gonna make it out here before it's just too hot. Is the car coming? Hey. Y'all see that dye didn't stay on my hair. I put the black dye on and I forgot to take my allergy pill. Worst day to do that. It covered it up for a week, but then the color just came back. So this is what we're working with. But I'll come back when we see something pretty out here. What'd you say?
Everybody's following my Jeep truck. You can drive.
I know, he saw us.
I ain't walking in no dirt.
Them days are behind us. Don't even get me started. This is not what this vlog is about, but some people like to think they living in antebellum down here in the South, but anyway.
I know it. I know it. I know we will overcome. A road is a road is a road.
It's a road.
Same stuff, different light. New day, same fight. How it comes, how it goes. One's on top, one's that know. But they forgot, they forgot, they forgot. When you bury a seed, it grows. I know it. I know it. I know we will overcome. A rose is a rose is a rose.
Rose. It's a rose.
It's a rose is a rose is a rose.
Rose. It's a rose. It's a rose.
A rose is a rose is a rose.
Flower in the ground and growing. Hey, it's a rose. It's a rose.
How it comes, how it goes. Different names, still a rose. We grew up, we grew tall. We knew then, we know now. What they forgot, they forgot. When you bury a seed, it grows. I know it. I know it. I know we will overcome. A rose is a rose is a rose.
Rose. It's a rose.
It's a rose is a rose is a rose is a rose is a rose.
It's a rose.
A rose is a rose is a
Flower
rose.
in the ground and growing.
It's a
Hey,
rose is a rose
it's
is
a
a
rose.
rose.
It's a
No one knows
rose.
better, knows better than me. I know it. I know it. I know we will overcome. A rose is a rose is a rose.
Rose. It's a rose.
It's a rose is a rose is a rose.
Rose. It's a rose. It's a
A
rose.
rose is a rose is a rose.
Flower in the ground and growing. Hey, it's a rose. It's a rose.
Same stuff, different light. New day, same fight. How it comes, how it goes. One's on top, one's that know. But they forgot, they forgot, they forgot. When you bury a seed, it grows. I know it. I know it. I know we will overcome. A rose is a rose is a rose.
Rose. It's a rose.
It's a rose is a rose is a rose.
Rose. It's a rose. It's a
A
rose.
rose is a rose is a rose.
Flower in the ground and growing. Hey, it's a rose. It's a rose.
How it comes, how it goes. Different names, still a rose. We grew up, we grew tall. We knew then, we know now. What they forgot, they forgot. When you bury a seed, it grows. I know it. I know it. I
lost. We lost and it's so hot out here. I don't even think I'm gonna make it. If I came back, it would be in the fall on a beautiful cool day and I would do the whole thing. I heard you. That little boy made a whoopee cushion farting noise when he saw me recording. Then he ran off. These kids, now they something else. I told him I heard you. He ran off. Little whippersnapper. He looked like trouble when he walked by. Carolyn's supposed to be leading the way, getting us out of here, and she took us in a full circle. I just want to get to the car, get to this air. It is pretty though. I'm sure the rest of it is beautiful, but I won't be seeing it today. Whew. That little boy, when he saw me vlogging, he gonna wait till he get to the end and then do a big old fart noise with his mouth. I said, I heard you. And he ran, laughing and running. I don't know why these kids always messing with me. What'd you say? A turtle. Oh. Girl, I ain't trying. I'm just trying to get out of here. I am sweating buckets. I don't remember Texas being humid like this. When I lived here previously, it was a dry heat. At least in the Dallas area. This thing is 89% humidity today. Look, she's trying to do nature shots. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. Woo. I feel like I look like Homie the Clown. Like Bozo. With this red hair. Oh, there's the gift shop. I don't want to go shopping. I want to get out of here. I want to go to the car. Because I can tell in a minute I'm going to get that heat headache. So do I recommend it? Yes. Do I recommend it in June? No. And it's only $9.50. Woo. I'll see y'all when we get to the car. Shoot. This is ridiculous. We leaving. It's too hot. Yes, we are melting. But it was nice. Will in the fall. In the fall when it's not. I'd rather do cold than hot. Any day. Yes. Right, first time visiting this location. Yep. We've only been here, what? A year and a half? 2 years?
Yeah.
2 years, yeah. Yep. Well, thank you so much. We didn't make it to the Zimbabweans. We couldn't find them, and then it was too hot, and I said, I'm going to have to catch them next time. That's it? That's where they were? In the tent? Oh, okay. Well, thank you. You too. Whew. We missed it. I'm sure he told us too. So we weren't paying attention. Yeah, it is. Let me get to Fred. That's my car, Fred. Whew. Y'all, I gotta get in this air. I'm walking fast now. Booty going wild. Dang.
built for the outside.
No. Oh, how the windshield wipers come on?
Got them intuitive ones, dude.
Ooh, I'm looking terrible. Terrible.
West entrance. Oh, that's an entrance too. Oh, this must be.
I might as well stop recording. I'm about to blast this air. Woo!
What you doing? Oh,
I'm about to stop recording. I'm about to cool down. I forgot to update, so we left the Botanical Gardens, went home. Ooh, it was so hot. And now we're at the movie theaters. We're about to see Little Mermaid in 3D, so maybe I'll get some footage in there.
Feels right being here with you. Despite everything we've been through, it had a way of working out. Feels right, full circle for the most part. Who would have guessed that from the real start we would be together now? Chasing after, looking for, staying up through the night. Intuition, some ambition, on a mission for whatever I feel.
Good morning. It is Tuesday, June 20th. It's about 6 o'clock in the morning, so it's a couple days after I last vlogged, which was Saturday. I just wasn't feeling like it, so I did not do it. Let me set my timer now because I'm getting ready for work and I do not want to get to talking and be late. So I'm gonna set it for 20 minutes. That way y'all know. Time to get dressed and go. But I hope y'all can hear me this time. I remember to turn my fan off. My last video, the sound quality was terrible. I know that I need to get like a mic pack probably to throw on. Bear with me. I'm figuring this out as I go. So I can already tell my little ottoman is squeaking, and that's getting on my nerves, but we're gonna rock with it. So, we left off. Oh, we went to the Botanical Gardens. It was beautiful, but it was terrible because the humidity was abysmal. It was disrespectful. So my whole purpose in going was, one, to get out of the house, but two, to take pictures for my dating profile. But that didn't work out for a few reasons. One, it was too hot. Two, it was so humid I couldn't even put on a full face of makeup. Three, my hair was a mess. I couldn't straighten it because it's hot and humid, and that would have been a waste of time. So I couldn't do that. I don't even know where I was going with that. But anyway, it's early. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning. I've been up since 5. What else? So that's where we left off. We saw The Little Mermaid, which is a good movie, but it was way too long. I don't need 2.5 hours. I think they indulged a lot in their beautiful graphics and design. They could have cut some of that and put it in the behind the scenes. I don't know, but it was good. I was thinking some deep thoughts watching it, but I'll share that another day. So, I need to be doing my hair while I'm talking. Let's do both. I wrote some stuff on a sticky because every time I think, oh, I have stuff I want to share, and then I get on camera and I forget everything. So I'm about to shock y'all because I'm about to take this bonnet off, and it's a mess, but here we go. Woo. Oh Lord, y'all. Yo. Father God in heaven. I hate my hair, y'all. I hate it. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. I'm glad I still have some hair after all that I've done. And we gonna have to try a middle part too. Ooh-wee. It's probably gonna be in a headband, so it won't matter. It'll be neither here nor there. But as you can see, it's still jacked. I put that rinse on that I showed y'all, and it made it a really pretty brown, like dark brown, which I liked. But it only lasted 7 days because I've been doing wash and goes. And for me, the way my hair is set up on my wash and goes, I pretty much need to at least mist it every day. So it kind of faded the color. And I didn't use heat to apply it, so maybe that was me, user error. I don't know. But as y'all can see, I'm going through it. I thought about just putting a permanent or going somewhere and having someone put a permanent black rinse over it. But at this point, I'm lucky, I'm blessed to have hair. After bleaching it, dyeing it with multiple times, it's a wonder I got hair. So I think I need to leave it alone. Just rock with it. Maybe put rinses on it, temporary rinses that won't cause further damage over time. But right now, this is what I need to do. So this is just water and a tinge of Infusion 23 that I'm putting on. And then I'm gonna try this for the first time, this extreme something. It's supposed to have 24-hour control. It's a gel. I've already got leave-in, Carol Hansen smoothie, leave-in, this flaxseed gel. This is what I had going Saturday when I was looking a mess, so I don't know about that combo, but we're gonna see if just throwing this over will help and define my situation. I'm being real brave just doing this right before work, but y'all, don't nobody see me at work. Already 5 minutes in. I tell you, time flies. So I'm just gonna put this on and see what happens. But I wanted to update. So the reason I wanted to be busy on Saturday, and I'm not gonna be looking at the camera the whole time. It's a mirror here, I need to see what I'm doing. But the reason I wanted to be busy is because it's the anniversary of a death that, you know, I've struggled with, and I didn't want to just be in the house being mopey or sad. I thought about doing a tribute, but I didn't even want to do that. I just wanted to have a nice day out so that I wouldn't be just sitting up triggered. And anyone who's lost a loved one, you understand what I'm talking about. I'm sitting here in my head saying, like, should I say who I lost or not? But I was just reading in my journal about one of my gifts being the ability to be vulnerable in different situations to encourage and help others. So I guess I'll go ahead and share. It's been 12 years since my daughter was stillborn, and Saturday was her birthday / death anniversary. So I just wanted to be busy, be kind of active. This is one of the first years, I think I've done, God has graced me to do really well this year. And I think it's because I've finally gotten to a place of release with the situation. And I know it's hard for some people who have maybe never experienced deep grief to understand how you can still be in it all those years later. But if you've lost someone very close to you, then you know. It can be certain times of year that can be triggering, or certain environments. So for me, it's the the anniversary of the trauma. But like I said, God was so good to me. I did struggle the week leading up to it, which I'm used to. I usually try to give myself a lot of grace and leeway as far as what I do. I probably should have taken a few days off work, which is something I might do in the future. But the week leading up to it, that's when I was sad. That's when I was crying. But on Saturday, God was so good to me. I didn't feel like crying. I felt like remembering the good times, remembering the happy times in my pregnancy. And, you know, after we came home from the restaurant, I didn't really feel like vlogging or anything. I have a keepsake memory box that I went through, and I don't even do that every year. It's been, man, I think it's been at least 5-6 years since I even opened that box. Maybe not that long. When did I make it? Probably 2018. So it's been like 4 years. I don't know, ever since I made it, I don't think I've went through it. But I went through it, and I looked at, I forgot all that I put in there. Just mementos, ultrasound pictures, her foot and hand prints, a journal with a letter to her. And then I wrote another letter. And it was such a blessing, because God is so near the brokenhearted. And being a 12th birthday, I felt like that was significant. Just moving forward in other endeavors the Lord has given me surrounding motherhood, and seeing that on the horizon, and letting go of just the sadness. There'll always be sadness, but letting go of the feeling of being stuck in it. Like I really released it. And I'm not saying, you know, I've just been boo-hooing for 12 years, but there's a difference in my soul. There's a lightness in my soul that's different. That's what I'm trying to say. So I didn't really feel like vlogging. As you can imagine, emotionally draining. And then also just health conditions that are aggravated by heat. So why I wanted to be outdoors, I don't know. So the next day, Sunday, I pretty much slept in. I slept in to like almost 10, I think. And then stayed in the bed for a little while after that and got up finally. I didn't stream church. I was just chilling like a villain, and it felt amazing. So, didn't vlog Sunday. Monday, pretty much the same thing with some addition, like some reading and studying. But that's also something I wanted to talk about with y'all. I don't know how much time I got left, but I've just been feeling this resistance to consistent Bible study and prayer. Maybe for the last week, maybe a little longer. Part of it was related to grief, which is why I even shared that, because I knew I wanted to talk about consistency and discipline. Part of it was me being resistant to entering into the presence of God, because I just didn't want to be sad. I knew that if I really paused and prayed, which I eventually did, but it took a minute to get there, that grief would well up, and sometimes we avoid feeling certain things. So I was resistant to prayer for that reason. Oh, excuse me, y'all. I'm very congested. Being outdoors, it just doesn't work. But then as well, I don't want to start on this side. I guess it doesn't matter. lost my train of thought. Hold on, it's gonna come back. Oh, resistance to prayer. So I've been feeling that, and one of the things I just thought about as I took my days of leisure was why. That's one of my big questions. Why? It's a good thing and a bad thing, because you're not always going to have answers as to why. But I want to know, like, what's the reason? And I think that's what I came up with. Me and the Holy Spirit revealed. It's just like, I didn't want to go into the presence of God because I didn't want to feel everything. But when I did, I let myself, on my lunch break, I went to the park, even though it was hot, sat in the car, and I had one of my journals with me, and I just went through what I was feeling, let it all out, acknowledged it, and released it, and I felt so much better afterwards. But it's just like, I know this. I've been walking with God long enough to know that there's only goodness in His presence. There's only blessings in His presence. So why would you resist it at a time when you need it the most? And I kept thinking about it, and one, like I've mentioned before, we do have an adversary, and he does want to keep us from the presence of God, because he also knows that that's where our joy, our power, our healing, our understanding, a shift in perspective comes from. So there's that. There's that resistance. There's our culture, the busy, go culture we live in that I am actively resisting. And there's that. And then just for me personally, I'm someone who's got my morning voice on tough. But hey, it is what it is. But I'm someone who is so easily distracted. So easily distracted. And it's something that only God's discipline can help me with. That's it. Like, it's a part of my personality to be distracted. I have the best intentions, and then just life gets in the way. So I realized, and I was talking to the Lord, I know discipline is important, and I just kind of got quiet and explored what came up for me when I heard the word, or when I think of the word discipline. And it wasn't like a good feeling. There was resistance, there was fear, probably a hint of a rebellion because of the resistance and fear. So I had to really begin to think and reframe what discipline is. Ooh, this is looking a mess. It's gonna curl though. It's gonna curl. It's just gonna take a minute. But that discipline word, I don't know. I feel like a lot of generations rely too heavily and blame too much on the upbringing. So I don't want to go that way. But I do think the way that you're disciplined growing up kind of influences, or I know it influences, the way you see God. So if you were disciplined harshly, then that can influence how you view the way the Holy Spirit disciplines you, the way the Lord disciplines you. So I just wanted to really explore that and just work on my consistency. I'm a highly emotional person, and I do a lot of stuff based on what I feel like doing at the moment. And as I've aged and gotten older and lived, it's like, you can't just do what you feel like doing. You got to do what needs to be done. And that applies not just to things like work or paying bills and all the other adulting things, but it applies to what you're called to do for the Lord. Like, you can't just be waiting on inspiration and a feeling. You'll be waiting a mighty long time. Take it from me. So that's been my focus in my prayer time. And since I was struggling with Bible study and prayer, first of all, I just set aside time to pray. It was slow this weekend. I wasn't doing a whole lot the last couple of days, so I just spent that time being in the presence of God, just being, not even always talking or praying in my head, but just being and listening for what the Holy Spirit wanted to reveal to me. And essentially, it's that you got to choose what's important and then go after it. So just for practical steps, I'm trying to figure out why I'm feeling like out of breath. I don't know. I think it's the congestion. But for practical steps, it is, for me, usually I do Bible study just kind of randomly based upon what I'm dealing with in my life. So I decided that since I'm struggling with my Bible study, to do a structured one. So I have a book that comes with the participant's guide that I'll be doing to kind of provide structure to my Bible study for this season. And it's about satisfying your deepest desires, your deepest cravings with God, not food. I feel like that was appropriate because I've kind of strayed a little bit from my healthy eating plan, which is different from most people's because I have so many food intolerances and allergies. So sometimes I get frustrated and just start eating stuff I know I'm not supposed to eat. So that'll help me as well. And then just setting aside, oh man, my timer going off already. Setting aside time to do that with consistency. Let me get this off. I feel like I've just been all over the place, probably because I have, what time is it? 6:23. So I need to do my breakfast and everything. So I don't know if I said everything I wanted to say, but I'm looking and shooting for consistency in vlogging and uploading because it's something that I feel that is part of my assignment right now. Ooh, Lord, y'all pray for me in this hair. And I'm like, I'm not going to keep putting crochet and wearing wigs. It's too hot for that. I need to just wear what God gave me. I like the gel. It darkened it a little bit. I was feeling like Homie the Clown, Bozo the Clown, Ronald McDonald. All of the above. I'm hoping when it dries, it'll be a little better, but we gotta figure this out. I gotta wear my hair. And I just gotta wait for it to grow. And since my little confidence is a little low, I feel like when it comes to my hair, I'm like, do I need to be doing a full face every day now? Lord knows I don't feel like it. It's too hot. And I don't even know how to, well, I know how to make makeup stay a little bit, but I really don't feel like it, so. But hopefully this will dry in a certain way. I'm not feeling the middle part. I'm probably gonna put a headband on. Thankfully, I get to work super early and nobody is really there. So hopefully it will have dried and I'll have some volume later. So I'll come back on probably later on my lunch break. I'm gonna go to Target because I don't have anything for lunch. and I need a couple items. All right, that was my little update. I hope it blessed somebody to think about, you know, if you've been struggling with consistency, if you've been struggling with trauma triggers, how you can just always go to the presence of God. Even when you're resistant to it, he's near to the brokenhearted, and he's always ready to accept and receive you. And I promise if you press into his presence, you will leave better than you came. So just do it even when you don't feel like it. Pray when you don't feel like it. Read your Bible when you don't feel like it. It will bless you. It's what I have learned. And I'm finished getting ready and check back in with y'all later. Ooh, I hope this camera does not fall. There we go. Hello. It's late on the day. Let me fix this. Look, I promise y'all I'm getting my stuff together. I need to get something for the car since apparently I'm going to be talking in the car a lot. Oh, Lord have mercy. Yeah, I always be coming on camera on my lunch break, and I guess, child, I'll be hungry. Here, okay. So, I do have this tripod I brought with me that I cannot collapse for whatever reason. I can't figure out how to disengage this thing, and plus, it's too... I thought I could put it on the dash of my car, but it's too big for that. So, anyway, I gotta get one specifically for the car. As y'all can see, this is what we're working with. Lord have mercy, y'all. Woo! What are we going to do? I think this gel holds promise, but I need to, one, do it on a day when I have time to really let my hair air dry, because I didn't let it fully dry before I started fluffing it out, because I was around there, what I tell my sister, I was looking like a little girl on her first day of kindergarten when it's wet, because it's so fine and short. I literally cannot get this thing down. Okay. I just needed to take a beat. And I'm looking over here mad now, because while I'm sitting here fooling with this thing, the drive-through for Panda got 3 cars deep, and there wasn't nobody there before. That's another thing. I'm gonna be eating out because I did not meal prep. Another thing I didn't feel like doing, so I didn't do. But I'm legit working on my discipline. And is this even urgent right now? No, it's not. So we can move on. Figure this out later. Or ask somebody else to do it. But I ended up not going to Target. Why? I'm looking for my phone and I'm using my phone to vlog. Anyway, I ended up not going to Target because I'm feeling vulnerable because of my hair. And if I went up in there, I know I would be spending money I don't need to be spending and don't have allocated for that on hair products. Because, you know, I'm feeling a little vulnerable. So I didn't go to Target, and I only needed one thing, some toothpaste. So instead I went to Walgreens right quick, and I had a $5 off coupon, so that worked out well. Saved me some Skrilla, but it didn't really save me anything, because instead of just getting the toothpaste for a couple of dollars with the coupon, I ended up getting something I don't need, y'all. These Reese's Thins dark chocolate. I don't need. But the carbs aren't that bad if you don't tear them down. But I could have walked away, but I didn't. Anywho, what was my point? Oh, to just show y'all how I came out, how my hair came out. And to also, I wanted to, like I said, when I'm not vlogging, I'm always thinking of things I want to say when I turn the camera on next time, and then when I turn the camera on, all of a sudden I can't remember what I wanted to say. So it is what it is. Well, I guess what's on my mind right now, I can update y'all on my little online dating thing. That's what I talked about earlier. I think I got sidetracked. It was two things I got sidetracked earlier that I was talking about. One, I think was my dating profile pictures, that I wanted to update them at the Botanical Gardens. It's a bee, a wasp. And then two, it was something about consistency and discipline. This man, he is fascinated by what I'm trying to do. When he first went in, he was looking over here like, what is she doing? And now that he got his food, he coming out looking like, what is she doing? How you know I'm just not on a video call with somebody? It's not unusual, but okay. I'm all over the place. I know I have mentioned previously to y'all about, I think, the dating, but it's hard for me when I'm editing. I don't know what I leave in, what I take out, so I can't remember if I left it in. Although long as that last vlog was, I know y'all like, did you edit anything out? That mug was long. I'm fried. Just gonna say I'm fried, y'all. I don't know what my point was. Show you my little struggle here, and then I don't even know. But like I said, let me just roll with what I was saying. So I think I left it in. There was a guy I was really interested in. I did leave it in. I remember it now. And I said, oh, I'm just going to reach out to him. And if he hit me back, cool. If he doesn't, then that's the end of that. So I did that. And he did respond. He was actually pretty happy to hear from me. And then through further conversation, because we've been talking a whole lot, it is some things that I'm just like, Lord, this don't make sense. But I'm just proceeding with caution, because that's just what I feel when I pray. And he hasn't said or done anything that would definitively say, don't continue getting to know this man. So I'm just continuing with it. But one thing I wanted to say, like, if you're single and you're out there ready to mingle, especially if you're doing it on online platforms, one thing I've realized, especially the men that are sincere and that are legit looking for a connection and a relationship, is that it's not all on the man to pursue. And this is something that, especially as Christian women, has kind of been drilled into our minds, that men pursue, which is true, they should. But also, and I was reading something, an article, I think it's called applygodsword.com, something like that, where he was saying, you know, men of course pursue, but women, we have the option of inviting pursuit, and that it should be reciprocal when you're dating, or you want to date, you want to meet someone, because it is a very vulnerable time. And I did not realize how many insecurities it would bring out in me, because I don't know what the difference is, because in the past I don't trip about dating. It's just like, you just do it. But I think it's because I have a different mindset now and a different mentality, that I understand the importance of who you link up with. So in the past, I didn't really give it the consideration it needed. So I wasn't tripping, and I wasn't feeling super vulnerable in those situations. Even though it's quite remarkable that in my past dating situations, I don't know, I try to keep it PG, because I don't know if people are watching this with their kids in the background. So how can I say this? When I was dating with the secular mindset, it's amazing to me that I wasn't tripping about being super vulnerable when I did sleep with them. So it kind of, the way the enemy can have your mind jacked up is astounding. So anyway, so now that I'm dating with more of a purpose and looking for a partner in life, i.e. marriage, and doing so God's way without any compromise in any form or fashion, especially physically, especially with my heart and who holds my heart and who is number one in my life, which is the Lord above. So I think because I'm being so authentically myself, I'm feeling vulnerable, and it's so challenging. And I think that that's true for most people, including men. They do have feelings. It is hard for them to put themselves out there. And think about it. If you're the one who is intended to pursue constantly, that means that in your pursuit, you're also the one who most often experiences rejection when the person that you have decided to pursue is not interested in you. So, and this whole thing came about, this whole like epiphany came about because I remember, I think when I first got on this app, it was a guy who, he just said, let me send you my number and you can call me if you're interested in talking. And I was like, okay, that's cool. And I knew he'd given me his number. He had expressed interest in hearing from me. But when I went to call him, I felt this anxiety, and it was like, oh my gosh, Lord, is this what men feel when they are reaching out to us? I mean, I could have put it back on him and just gave him my number, but I didn't know him like that. And I called him from a blocked number initially. But it hit me. I said, this is how men feel. This is how they feel even when they know you're interested. And we're on the other end saying like, why this man hasn't called me? Why hasn't this man called me? I have expressed interest. I wouldn't have given him my number if I didn't want to hear from him. What's the problem? And it hit me how they feel so vulnerable in that moment. And I'm sitting there, I'm dialing the phone. I'm like, okay, what if he doesn't pick up? Do I leave a message? Do I text instead of leaving a message? If he doesn't pick up, was he really expecting to hear from me? And just all this stuff with this guy I really didn't know. And this wasn't even the one that I was super interested in. But it hit me, that's how men feel. And then I had a conversation again with this one that I'm really interested in, and he was expressing appreciation. He's like, I'm so glad that after we had sent those messages back and forth and we had a vibe going, I'm glad you reached out to me and just said exactly what you meant. Like, I thought we had something going. Why didn't you? Or something I said, like, why you leave me hanging or something. And he was expressing appreciation because he said oftentimes women kind of fail to realize or fail to acknowledge that men have feelings. So that was just, as I'm out here trying this stuff, that's something I just wanted to share with y'all. That is not all on the men, that we as women, we invite pursuit. And if someone has expressed interest in you and you're getting to know each other, it's okay. You don't always have to wait for him to call you or wait for him to text you or to reach out to you. It should be like a two-way street, because it's just like we're feeling vulnerable, they're feeling vulnerable, especially if they really like you. Now, if it's just the numbers game to them, if they just like, this is what I do, they really not going to trip. Same goes for women, I guess, a woman. So I think that's what I kind of wanted to say. But y'all, why? I'll tell y'all more about that later. Because one thing on these apps that I'm not used to is I'm used to, like, about soon as you say hello, they like, let's meet in person. So it's very strange to me that I'm talking to, I have talked to multiple men, and right now I'm talking to two, and neither one of them has made any indication that they want to meet in person. Well, one has indicated, but I think I missed the bait, just being me. But the other one hasn't at all, and I'm like, what is going on? I don't know if it's because it's a different type of app and these men take their time. I also think that I was reading statistics where men are way more likely to get catfished than women. So, because from what I understand, I don't know, I just been asking questions, that on the apps there are a lot of women who, I guess there's men and women that do this, that it's like a new form of pseudo prostitution, and they get approached in ways that are not what they looking for, I think that's about as PG as I can do it. So a lot of times they don't think the profiles of women are real, so maybe that's why they're hesitant. But I think, honestly, I think a lot of people are on these apps just looking for attention and not for relationships. So I'm being patient for now because that's what God is leading me to do. But I ain't got time to be messaging for the rest of my life. I need to see you. I need to smell you. I need to know what your life is, like the vibe in real life. Anyway, I'm babbling. Let me go for my little chocolate milk. Y'all, it's hot out here. And I got the air down low because I didn't want to have bad audio quality again. So let me go get on back to this office. I was so productive today. I'm so happy. I'm so proud of myself. I was getting things done, and I hope it continues this afternoon. I think it's because I got rest. So I'm about to blast this air. Give me something to eat. See y'all later. So this angle is trash, but it is what it is. I just want to tell y'all, I went into Panda Express instead of going through the drive-thru, and I left my car running because I was like, this chocolate cannot melt in this heat. You're supposed to get up to 102 today. So I was in there with all these people. I left for lunch early in order to avoid the crowd. Then I ended up talking on this camera for so long that didn't work. But it reminded me of that episode of The Office. I love The Office, where Phyllis had the ice cream cake in the car and Pam was having the baby, and she told Michael, I need to go. He said, why? He said, I have ice cream cake in the car. And he was like, go, go, go. What are you, crazy? Are you crazy? I thought that was hilarious. So the whole time I'm in there, I'm living in mortal fear that my car turned off automatically or something and this chocolate is melted. Y'all, I'm so fried. But I got what I needed. I didn't get anything crazy. Just some rice, broccoli, and chicken. But I'm heading back now.
I gotta get it. I gotta get it. Ain't gon' never stop till I say I really did it. I gotta get it. I gotta get it. Ain't gon' never stop till I say I really did it. I gotta get it. I gotta get it. Ain't gon' never stop till I say I really did it. I gotta get it. I gotta get it. Ain't gon' never stop. I'm working hard, putting in overtime. Put my focus over here and there. Focused on my mind, marching battle mission to the battleship. I'm a soldier, so grateful for my blessings. Thankful that I know you preach it, teach it, walk it like I talk it. You know I'm a vessel. I do it one way necessary. Put the pedal to the floor, shifting up, chasing gears, riding side by side with your facing all my fears.
Ooh, y'all see I'm sweating. I finished that workout. It was tough. It was not easy, but I did it. And it was only 20 minutes. That lets you know that nutrition definitely plays a part in your fitness capabilities, because yesterday I did a 45-minute workout. One of her workouts, Grow with Joe. I don't know if I put the name on the screen, if I'll remember. But it's Grow with Joe. I did one of her workouts yesterday, and it was 45 minutes intense cardio. Why am I doing that? But I did that no problem, but I ate better. I didn't like that Panda. Ugh. And those Reese's were not my friend. They affected my performance, among other things. I'm tired. I had the, excuse me, I had the afternoon slump and everything. But I left them at work, so I'm not tempted to eat them at night. But I need to go ahead and put them in the break room or something tomorrow. See if I have the strength to do it. I'm not making no promises. But yesterday I did the 45-minute one. And was that yesterday? Yeah, that was yesterday. And I felt great, and I was going full out the whole time. So how you eat changes. But I remember what I wanted to, I'm about to close this out because this doesn't need to be long like the other one. But I remember what I wanted to tell y'all in the car. I got distracted. I think I mentioned that I kept getting in almost accidents for like a whole week and the Lord was just covering me and protecting me. So I finally did actually get in an accident. I think it was that same week, about a week ago, yeah. And I'm just sweating. I'm being cheap. Our electric bill has been ridiculous, and it's not even the prime time of summer, so we have it set on 73, which is comfortable for some people, but it's hot for me. But I'm trying to endure, and I turned my fan off so it wouldn't have that background while I do this part. Look at me, I'm about to take a shower. Told y'all I'm easily distracted. Oh, so I finally did get in an accident. I was riding down the freeway on Thursday afternoon, and my car Fred sits low. So it was a big old semi that had blown a tire. So it was a big old giant tire in the middle of the freeway, and I was blocked in. Like, by the time I saw it, because it was a big old truck, Texas, everybody driving trucks in front of me. So it's not like I could see the tire until after they had rolled over it. And at that point, I couldn't change lanes or slow down to avoid it. So I ran right over that big old tire, and thank God he kept me, because I wasn't going fast. I was in a slow lane. I was going like 67, something like that. But I rolled right over it, and it tore off the front part. I'm trying to remember what it's called. The flood thing. Man, I know what it's called because I looked it up, but it's the plastic rubber thing at the bottom that keeps water and debris from getting into your car. Whatever it's called. It ripped that down like at a diagonal. It tore off my front trim of my headlight, and it cracked the grill a little bit. I still haven't seen that. The insurance lady, when I sent the pictures and everything, because they do virtual assessments or something now, she's the one pointed that out. And it's like little dings. So thankfully I was okay. God kept me. My first reaction was not gratitude. Unfortunately, I'm not that spiritually mature yet. My first reaction was frustration, because I'm like, God, you're sovereign. You could have, just like you kept me from all those other crazy accidents, you could have kept me from running over this tire. I don't need this right now. I got enough going on. Like, I was just full on ungrateful, instead of just being grateful that it could have been worse. Like, the person behind me could have not been able to slow down, because even though I couldn't stop, your reflex is to brake whenever you're about to hit something. So they didn't hit me from behind. It could have been a lot worse damage when I took it to the mechanic and they put it on the lift. This wasn't for the insurance. It was just me stopping at this mom and pop mechanic garage to see if they could fix whatever that rubber part is called. When he put it up on the lift for me, he was real nice. He said, when I told him what happened, he was like, you are very fortunate, because it could have been a lot worse damage. So it was no mechanical damage, it's all cosmetic. So anyway, it took me a couple days really to truly, genuinely thank God for protecting me. But he's so good. One thing, I could have faked like I was just, so happy he kept me, and he would have known I was faking. So I just had an attitude. I called in to work the next day because I was like, I'm over. So it must have been a Wednesday if I called in. I'm over this. I'm done. I had already had a frustrating week, and then this happens, and I'm just driving along listening to my little book on tape and everything, and on tape, showing my age, Audible book. Anyway, so I wanted to say that God kept me. It did finally happen, but even so, it could have been worse. And I don't know why he allowed that to happen, but I will say the mechanic, when he put that plastic piece back up and cinched it on up and checked out the rest of the undercarriage, and he was like, you're fine. And I said, how much do I owe you? Because the estimate from my insurance was, for the cosmetic damage, was like $1,700. So the reason I wanted that plastic part fixed is because it was dragging, and at that point I didn't know if 6 minutes. Ooh, I could talk. I didn't know at that point if there was internal damage. So it was just making this noise. If I went over 40 miles per hour, it was making a weird noise. But he said it looks good, and he fixed that up, and he only charged me $20. And since I rarely carry cash, and he didn't want to accept a card, he was like, just come back someday and just give me the $20. And I was like, what? People still do that? But he did it, so that's another reason to be grateful. And then my sister was working from home that week because I didn't know what was going on. I didn't want to go over 40 miles per hour, and I'm thinking, I'm not trying to take the streets all the way to I need to calm down. I'm not trying to take the streets all the way to work. So that saved me from trying to rent a car, which I probably would not have done, or just being stressed because I was able to use her car. So that worked out perfectly. And God just always makes a way, and he loves us and favors us even when we are ungrateful and have attitudes. He still is good. That was my point, and I wanted to share that earlier, but I couldn't think of it. So I did my workout even though I didn't feel like it, even though I'm tired. I'm trying to be disciplined. I think I was talking about that earlier. I lost my train of thought as well. But to discipline is to disciple, which is to teach. And that's what God does for us. Those whom he loves, he chastens. And one of the fruits of the Spirit is self-control and discipline. So I'm really trying to work on that. That's why I'm trying to be consistent in posting here. I'm trying to be consistent in some other endeavors that I have, because that's an area that I really struggle. So I'm trying to get that together. So after this, I'm about to take a shower. Then I'm going to do my little Bible study. Those are my priorities. I have to make something for dinner. I ordered groceries, even though I thought I canceled Walmart delivery, but I hadn't. Since they charged me, I was like, I might as well finish out the month. But that's it. That's all I have. I don't know what kind of situation this is gonna be, but hopefully I said something that encourages you and that inspires you in some way. And I think I need to do a life update or something. I've never done a life update. I've never done the my testimony video, even though I don't even know what all that would entail. But I guess I could just tell of God's goodness and faithfulness in my life, and tell how I came to know him through the ups and downs. So those might be on the horizon. But thank y'all for rocking with me, for hanging out with me for a couple days, even though there was space in between. And that's all I got. All right, love you so much, and pray that you are encouraged and that you just keep on keeping on. And I will see y'all on the next one.